Hello?
Hey, yo, Cutter, what up, man?
What's up, APT? What's going on?
Yo, man, I got a problem.
What's that?
I got these two girls I'm seeing, right?
Uh-huh.
They're both just so good to me. I can't decide which one I should be
Man,
with.
I'm going through the same thing, man. I got two girls that'll do anything for me.
Oh, boy.
It might sound crazy, baby, believe me. Got two hot ladies, they both loving me. And I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. But I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. Yo, I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. I can't have them both, so I gotta choose one. Yo, I got a hot chick living on the north side. I got a hot chick living on the south side. I got a problem cause I can't tell who to choose. They both seem like they both down to ride or die. My north side chick love to cook a brother grub. My south side chick love to give me back rubs. My north side chick down to pay your brother's tab. My south side chick always down for touch and grab. My north side chick knows how to ride the stick. My south side chick love to drive me in the whip. My north side chick loves to get all freaky. Yeah. My south side chick loves to get all freaky. Woo! They both like dress up and don't give a crap if their hair gets messed up. This is my confession. I'm just about ready to settle down, but I can't decide who I'm supposed to choose now. Oh! It might sound crazy, baby, believe me. Got two hot ladies, they both loving me. And I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. But I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. Yo, I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. I can't have them both, so I gotta choose one. Oh!
I got a hot chick living on the east side. I got a hot chick living on the west side. I got an issue, I don't know who to choose. They like me, and I like them both too. My east side chick is a white girl. My west side chick is a black girl. My east side chick likes to have sex. My west side girl got some big breasts. My east side chick freaky as she wanna be. My west side chick always protecting me. My east side chick take away all my stress. My west side chick, she don't take no mess. They both so mature, they both so gorgeous. I like both of them cause they not boring. But let me slow it down, I can only choose one. I can't have them both, so I gotta pick one. It might sound crazy, baby, believe me. Got two hot ladies, they both loving me. I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. But I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. Yo, I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. I can't have them both, so I gotta choose one.
Hey yo, I tried to be a player, but the truth is, a brother never ever been this ruthless. And if they ever find out I would do this, I'd probably end up with a broken jaw, toothless. Ow.
I used to do the same thing a long time ago, but it's time for me to let that player stuff go. Cause I got two hot girls just to choose from. Yo, how you gonna decide which one to lose, son?
Man, both girls got different stuff about in my life, but I gotta dump one tonight, cause it just seems right.
I know what you mean, I want both girls in my life, but it would be wrong to have two girls for a wife.
Oh man, what are we supposed to do?
When you got two good girls, how do you choose?
I don't know, it shouldn't be as hard as this.
And if we choose the wrong one,
we'll all be pissed. Oh! It might sound crazy, baby, believe me. Got two hot ladies, they both loving me. And I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. But I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. Yo, I gotta choose one, man, I can't choose one. I can't have them both, so I gotta choose one. Oh!
Yeah. We're gonna have to dump one of them, man.
I know, man, it's gonna be hard, y'all.
Well, I don't know. You figure out who you gonna get rid of.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to have my conversation on this side, man.
Alright, man. I hate to be the heartbreaker, though.
I'll call you tomorrow, see what's up.
That sounds good. Take care, man.
Alright. Peace.
Jones in the house, my love's in the house. Uncle Jones in the house, my love's in the house.
I said VOTE on November 3, Biden and Harris, cause that Donald Trump weak. Yeah, I'm voting for Biden and Harris. Mail-in ballot or the polls for Biden and Harris. Gotta save the nation's soul with Biden and Harris. Joseph Biden is the next in charge, taking back that White House yard. Kamala Harris is his running mate, fighting back against QAnon. They go low, but we go high. Look at his record, look at her drive. Boost the morale, close the divide. This country is hurt, Biden's your guy. Trump don't cheat, ain't no surprise. Killing the post office from the inside. He trying to stop your big fat vote so we can keep telling lies. What a team, it's a dream. Make me wanna shout and scream. Pence and Trump, so obscene. But Joe and Kamala, so fresh and so clean.
Gotta be H&B, vote on November 3. Don't stay home for my years of the lunacy. I do not wanna do it, I'm about to lose my sanity. But Joe is so boring. Oh really? Well that's cool with me. Statesmanship, they both drift. Climate change, gonna get that fixed. Military budget, gonna get more change. The troops ain't gotta worry about it, ain't thing. Donate your cash or your time for Biden and Harris. You bout to die, stay alive. Vote Biden and Harris, so love the nation. Who gon' save it? Vote Biden and Harris. If you want change, send your vote and vote Biden and Harris.
Look, we need a straight shooter, we need a case closer, need to free from jail all the weed smokers. We need Trump fired cause he's mediocre. With Republicans, they gon' reach over. You in college and earning your credits, they'll take your loan, lower your payments. Got a small business, well, they're trying to help it. All of the farmers, they'll be well protected. They won't take your guns or leave you broke. Joe and Kamala, bringing back hope. They're going to hunt down a new cure for corona and not treat this thing like a hoax. Their campaign's on fire, they move about calmly while Trump has no focus. He moves like a zombie, he's racist like the cops in Wisconsin. And let's not forget he supported the Nazis.
Kamala, she a boss chick, aka BP pick little girls, they can dream it. Teaming up with Joe, giving something to believe in. About to be a fight, Trump and Pence take a beating. In the White House, Joe's the one we needin'. Been up in there once, he's a proven leader. Big P stands for presidential, making good decisions and he's got credentials. Donald tried man, but he can't hang. His response to Rona caused death and pain. Got non-believers making grave visits. If you don't believe me, ask Herman Cain.
Yeah, I'm voting for Biden and Harris. Mail-in ballot or the polls for Biden and Harris. Gotta save the nation's soul with Biden and Harris. Get back on top, gotta swap for Biden and Harris. Mike Pence and Donald, they both flop. Vote Biden and Harris. I'm talking va, va, va. That's Biden and Harris. This Kofefi's gonna stop with Biden and Harris. Yeah.
Uncle Joe's in the house, Kamala's in the house. Uncle Joe's in the house, Kamala's in the house. Uncle Joe's in the house, Kamala's in the house.
It's the Introvert Dating Success Podcast, the show for introverted men that's all about learning how to attract beautiful women and still get your precious alone time. And now, here's your host, dating coach and fellow introvert, Harry Wilmington.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Introvert Dating Success Show, courtesy of introvertdatingsuccess.com. I'm your host as always, Harry Wilmington. This is the show and that is the website where you can go to learn how to date as your authentic introverted self while still getting your precious alone time. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about who should be the one to say, I love you first. Who's the one that should be expressing their feelings and desires for the other person? Is it the woman? Are you waiting for her time frame? Or should you be saying it as a means to be able to see where her feelings are at and get her to then admit that she likes you as well? Well, there are a lot of feelings about this. I only have one perspective, and we'll get into what that is and why. And I'm going to be doing that by answering a few questions that I saw on Reddit today that really illustrate what can happen depending on who says what first. Okay, so be sure to stay tuned for that. As always, for more of these shows, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. You can also catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on protestparty.tv. If you join on that link specifically, you can join us in the chat stream and chat with people in there. And also I can answer questions, and I occasionally refer to that as I'm going through the show. All right, so be sure to do that, guys. If you guys have anything you'd ever want me to talk about on one of these shows, you can go to the website and click on the contact tab, or you can write me directly at harrywilmington@gmail.com. Also, if you're somebody that wants to be interviewed on this show, I just did an interview this past Wednesday with the author who was launching a book. And so I love doing interviews for this show. If you are somebody that has a project coming out, or you're an expert in dating or introvertism or whatever, and you want to come on the show and talk, then you can write me at harrywilmington@gmail.com as well, and we will do an interview. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the idea of who says, I love you first. And I bring this up because just in my travels, in my studies, and just being in the world in general, I noticed that a lot of guys feel that the only way they can really figure out if a girl likes them is to emote all these feelings and tell her, and then that will somehow motivate her to want to do the same thing. And a lot of this has been pushed by movies and TV and whatnot, because you'll see these grandiose stories where a guy's been fighting like 2/3 of a movie to attract this girl, and it's all towards this buildup of him eventually saying, hey, so I don't know if you know, but I've had feelings for you since, we'll say, the third grade, and I just want to know that I really love and I care for you. And then the girl gets kind of silent and then looks up at the guys like, oh, well, I didn't know. And then all of a sudden they feel all these things. And now the girl likes them too. And then they get together, roll credits, happily ever after. But does that, sorry, I dropped my phone here. Does that happen in real life? Is that something that if you were to do that as well, the woman's going to respond positively? Well, I want to go over these 3 messages that I saw on Reddit, because I saw 3 instances where guys were trying to tell a woman how he felt and trying to establish a relationship really early on. And then when I saw the results that all 3 of these guys got, I just thought that it really illustrated perfectly the kinds of things that I talk about on the show, which is that ultimately you're playing against her timetable. Like, we already know, guy, when you go on that first, second, and third date, you're already feeling things, and your brain is confusing early lust with feelings of love and desire. So you're already feeling the thing that says, I already love this person. Okay. And so as you're feeling that, you start going to the part of your brain that says, oh, women like conversation, and women always want to know how you feel about things. And so they want to get deep with me, and I'm clearly dating this girl because she wants to get into a relationship. I should just let her know that my feelings are already there. Case closed. We don't have to do this whole facade of her not knowing how I feel about her, because she'll already know. And then we do it. Now, I don't know about your results of doing that, and I'm sure there are probably outliers here and there, but I know my experience in doing that has not always been the most positive of situations. But enough about me. I want to talk about these guys today. So I'm going to go over these 3 posts that I saw and kind of talk about because I responded to some of these posts. So I'm going to talk about what my response was, and also how you can learn from these guys on whether you should or should not be the one that's so open to saying, I love you first. All right. So let's get into this first post right here. This guy, he says, the question he asked was, is it really weird to say to your date, I like you, after you have sex? So his message goes like this. He says, so I have been dating this girl for about 3 weeks. On the second date, I fell completely in love with her. I'm going to stop there. Again, guys out there that are watching this, please stop confusing lust with feelings of love. Those first couple of dates when you're having a really, really good time, that's supposed to happen. It's supposed to make you want to feel connected and bonded to this person, and it's supposed to make you want to get to know them more. It does not mean you are fully in love. And a lot of guys that believe this, what happens is you can accidentally stop looking for things that might disqualify this woman. Like if you're saying by date number 2, I'm already in love, you're going to, overlook if she says something out of pocket, or if she does something, or if she flakes on you, or if she starts bringing other guys into the equation or whatever. Like you're gonna buy all that stuff because you're so in love. You're going to be projecting onto her what she should be feeling for you, and thinking like, well, she loves me, then this is just a bump in the road, but you're not going to be looking up these signs. And so it's important for you guys to continue to do your due diligence. Even after you think you've already felt those feelings of love, you still want to make sure that you're looking out for things, because those first 3 months, man, those first 3 months are really going to tell you how this girl is. And if you're on date 2 already falling in love, you're going to avoid those 3 months altogether, thinking that it's already in the bag when it's really not. Okay. But continuing on. So he fell completely in love already, day 2. I'm just that kind of person. That's a lie. Head over heels with almost any girl I date. But anyway, we had sex on the 3rd date, which was great. And I tell you guys, bravo. That is not a problem. If you're able to hook up with a girl and connect in that way physically, whether it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th date, whatever, good for you. But remember, just like guys like to have sex just because it's a good release and it feels good and it's fun, believe it or not, women out there will have sex for the same reason. Sometimes it might have been 4 or 5 months since she had a guy come around, and you happen to be the one that's at her door and she wants to do it. And it could have nothing to do with her being all the way there in love with you. It could just be, I need to get my rocks off because I'm a woman and I got hormones too. And I have urges and you are the guy that right here and you said you're willing to do it and I want to do some stuff too. So just because that happens, don't think that she's in love. And I think a lot of guys fall for this because, again, we're watching movies and TV shows where, at the climax, where they connect and hook up, there's been this whole movie where he's been building up to telling her that he loves her. And then when he does, the first thing they do is have sex. So imagine watching that for 20 something years. This guy's 21 years old. Imagine for 21 years, you're watching movies where you build up, you build up, you build up. The guy says, I love you. They have sex. Another movie, build up, build up, build up. The guy says, I have feelings for you. I love you. They have sex. So what is this programming in your brain, guys? It's programming that once you say I love you, sex happens. Therefore, sex must be equated with being in love. Therefore, if you have sex with a girl, even if she didn't say it yet, she must already be feeling those feelings of love. That is not a thing. Okay. So get that out of your mind. A girl can have sex with you and still just be trying to find out more about you. That could just be part of her finding out process to see if you guys are even sexually compatible and if she should continue to date you further. Continuing on. On the fourth date, I asked her, what are we? As in, are we dating yet? And are we exclusive? And that I really like her. All right. So the question's been proposed is on the fourth date, date number 4. He has now asked her, what are we and are we exclusive? Now, what do you think her response is? I wish I had a button to play some Jeopardy music right now, but I'll let you just sit there a little bit. Let's see. It's only been 4 dates. They've been dating for 3 weeks. So, but 4 dates, let's say he spent 3 hours for each date. So they spent a total of 12 hours together. In 12 hours, do you think she is ready to be exclusive with this guy yet? Well, let's find out. He says 1 date later and yesterday, she texted me that me saying that I like her really scared her and that she is weirded out by me being so quick with the serious stuff. And I've talked about this before, guys, that for women, dating is supposed to be a fun activity. It's supposed to be something that allows her to get out of her shell. It allows her to go have a good time with a fun guy and get out of the serious world where she's stuck all day. Because if you look at a woman's life, typically she's at work being serious. She's dealing with family issues. She's being serious. And the last thing she wants to be with the guy that she just started dating is in serious mode. So when you bring up topics like, are we in love? Are we exclusive? Are you seeing anybody else? These are all serious topics when you bring them up because it's going to bring a level of intensity to those questions that if she were asking them, it would not have. But since you're bringing it to her attention, if she's not there yet, this seems like too much too soon, and she starts seeing it as too serious. Continuing on, well, to me, saying, I really like you doesn't seem weird on the 4th date, especially after we have sex. If you do the most intimate act you can with the other person, why wouldn't you like them? And here's the point, guy, is that this is absolutely true. If you have sex with a woman, chances are, if you're a good guy that's trying to date and show her a good time, that you do like her. Women are way more intuitive than guys are, though, and they kind of already get that. Like when you asked her on a date, she assumed on some level you like her. She might not necessarily know the level of like that you have for her, but she can assume that you're not asking her out just to waste time or whatever. Like you went on 4 dates prior to having sex, so let's say a third. You went on 3 dates prior to having sex. I think she knows by you asking her out 3 times in a row prior to having done anything that you probably like her, okay? So yes, when you have sex with a woman, she's going to know you like her. But when you verbalize it, when you say it, again, it brings a level of intensity to the situation that if she's not ready for it, it goes from being fun to, oh wait, he's trying to get me in a relationship. Like it's only been 3 weeks. It's only been 4 days. Like I'm not there. Why is he asking these questions? Why is he trying to bring so much seriousness to this fun situation? Like if a woman wants to make it serious, after a few months of fun with you, she'll be like, this is fun. I want to keep having this fun, but now it might be threatened by other women. I need to kind of bring this to his attention and see if he wants to do this so we can keep having fun. That's why when they bring it to your attention, it's with a little bit of levity. It's not so serious because yes, she wants the answer, but it's not at this level that you're bringing it to where it's like, it's more, you're bringing it to her attention as a result of insecurity. I don't know where we're at. And I don't know if she's seeing other guys. Am I really good enough for her? And I just got to know, I gotta have her. So that's when you start bringing to her attention the whole, what are we situation after 4 or 5 dates and she's not there. So yeah, she knows you like her when you have sex. It's fine. It's perfectly fine for her to know that without you having to verbalize it. She will assume that you like her on some level when you have sex with her. Let's see. Okay. It also seemed like a right moment for me to ask what kind of situation we are in. Do you think it was too soon of me? Was it weird? I have no experience with casual dating, so this took me by surprise. So the basic answer that I gave him, I said, yes, it was too soon. I said, men show their like and care through actions. You don't need to tell her you like her because you asked her out 4 times and continue to ask her out after each one. They know. However, women feel into things with 3 to 4 more times importance than men do, which is why you don't need to express your feelings verbally. Women are the queens of passive communication. This is why they can talk to other women and they don't have to outright say to a woman, I'm having a bad day. They can just say, oh, I'm fine. And a woman will read like, oh, it must be horrible. Like she's reading 3 times into what this other woman is saying to her. So, and I think the problem is that as guys, we communicate very directly because we're not very good at hints at all. And we want to know, like, on the by and by, how people are feeling, what things are going on. So we'll say to a guy, hey, how you doing? And a guy's going to say, oh, it's been a hard day. Because other guys don't want you to guess. And they don't want, and we know we're not going to read more into it than just, oh, he said he's had a bad day. It means he's having a bad day. Whereas women might read 3 or 4 times more into that, into deeper levels. So that's why I say you don't need to verbally express anything. If you're asking her out, if you're occasionally doing light touches on the date, if you're having sex with her, all these things indicate to her you probably like her. You can lean back a bit. So that's why I said, like I said, even with having had sex with her, this does not give you a pass to now be verbally expressive. And again, guys make that mistake. They have sex and they're like, oh, I had sex. Now I can display all these feelings. And so you're lying there in bed with her after sex saying about, yeah, so I'm so glad we did it. And you're just the best thing ever. And I feel so comfortable with you. And I just want you to know that I care so much about you and I like you so much. And she's sitting there like, I just had an orgasm and now you're coming at me with all these feelings. This is a lot. This is a whole lot. I didn't think me jumping on your bones was going to suddenly make you want to be all verbally giving verbal diarrhea to me about all these feelings you had. And now it feels like it's too much because you're throwing a lot of feelings at me at once. And it's only been 4 dates. Now I'm feeling kind of creeped out. Okay. So this is example number 1 of what can happen when you as a guy start verbalizing things too soon. And I said, lastly, women need about 3 months to solidify their feelings. So during the time when a woman is dating you and vetting you to see if you are who you say you are, you're truthful, you're treating her well, during this vetting period, the last thing she needs to hear from you is your feelings, because now it also feels like a bribe. It's like you're saying to her, hey, I like you, as a means of getting her to say it back, which means you are not confident enough to just automatically believe that she likes you. And in terms of showing signs on her end, if she's saying yes to dates, if she's showing up, if she's not flaking, if she's saying things like, I just want you to know I had a really good time with you last night. And oh my God, I was thinking about you all day today. Take those as signs that she likes you. I know as a guy, you want to hear the direct verbal, but I like you and I care about you. That's not going to happen in the first 3 months. She's going to say other things that you have to read as I like you without actually her verbally saying it outright. Okay. Just let that happen. Take the time to let her find in her own way what her feelings are and how she wants to express it, versus you coming in date 4. Hey, so what are we? We should be exclusive. That's not your job. That's not your job. Okay. So that's the first guy. Let me go to the super chats here real quick, see what's happening on here. See, a lot of political talk over there. Good stuff. Somebody said you over there dreaming about having sex at Piggly Wiggly out of nowhere, and then you wake up because you know that ain't right. Then she's bouncing off the goods. Oh, you guys are funny in the chats. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the second message here that I read. So this one, another guy. So this guy's saying, should I mention exclusivity after 6 dates? So you notice a theme going on here? You have these guys here that are dating these girls and they're going on anywhere between 3 to 6 or 7 dates. And even with that, a lot of these guys, like this guy I'm about to read, he did 6 dates in 3 weeks, which I said to him early on, that's a lot of time. Like when you first start dating a girl, you should really be like curtailing it to 1 time a week. Maybe if you do it twice, it's like you see her like on Monday and then you wait until like the next Sunday and then maybe that Thursday. Like that's how you could even it out. But like you should really be like spreading out these dates. And what most guys do is they like a girl so much in the beginning and they assume that her like is already there that they start trying to plan multiple dates. So they might plan a Monday, and then while they're on that date on that Monday, they're like, hey, so what are you doing tomorrow night? Or what are you doing Wednesday? Or, what are you doing this weekend? And the woman has only been on 1 date with you. And she hasn't planned her life to be around you yet because, again, she's still vetting you. So once you get to the point where you're close to being the boyfriend and girlfriend, that's when she will come to you and start proposing dates more often in the week. And this is a really good way to gauge a woman's interest is if you're just planning 1 date a week, So let's say you plan like a Monday, the next week you plan like a Wednesday, the next week after that you plan a Sunday. What she's going to do, if she wants more of your attention, is she'll hit you up. Like you take her out that Sunday, she might hit you up Tuesday. Hey, so, I know it's kind of early in the week, but I was thinking maybe Wednesday we could get together. She'll start proposing more times to see you because her interest is building and she wants to initiate that you see her more because she realizes she has to work for your attention. This works better than you trying to go on 6 or 7 dates in a span of 3 weeks. And again, there's going to be guys that say, but I dated this girl one time and we went out like 3 times. Again, we're not talking about outliers here. We're talking about probability. The probability is that you're going to chase a girl away a lot faster if you're proposing all these dates so soon and also verbalizing your feelings on these dates so soon as well. All right. But anyway, so this guy's question is, should I mention exclusivity after 6 dates? We know the answer is no, but let's continue on. He says, I've been seeing this woman that I met on Bumble for a little over 3 weeks. So kudos to this guy for doing online dating and being able to actually get a girl off the app and into actual dates. And if you want help doing that, I have this great program called Smart Digital Dating. You can go to smartdigitaldating.com/enroll to see what that program has to offer. But it's the complete A to Z program that I personally use time and time again to be able to go from posting up and putting up my profile to talking to women in the chats and actually getting them on dates. And a lot of guys struggle with that. I used to too. And then I got really good at it. So I made a program. So again, smartdigitaldating.com/enroll. But anyway, continuing on. I met the girl on Bumble for a little over 3 weeks, and we've gone on like 6 dates now, which is again, a lot of dates in 3 weeks time. At 6 dates, that's a lot. It's pushing the boundaries of a lot. He says it's been going well and everything. We've made out. We've done sex stuff. Haven't gone all the way yet, but she's wanted to multiple times. Just didn't feel ready yet. But yeah, things have been going well. I just want to pause. I never understood. Well, okay. I understand if you're a guy that wants to wait a little bit for whatever reason, whether it's, you maybe in the past have hooked up too early with a girl. So you want to kind of like, push it to the back a little bit. And that's totally fine. I tell you guys, like, you don't have to hook up with the girl the first, second, or third date to make it work effectively. Okay. But with that said, like, if you were thinking at all that this girl's hot and that you do want to jump her bones, there's nothing wrong with that either. And a lot of women, you'll find, surprisingly, if you're not hooking up with them by like the 3rd or 4th date, they start to wonder what are you about? Why is this happening? Are you possibly not straight? Or possibly what's it called? The secret. I forget the secret guys held back in the day. It was like they were on the down low. If you're like an on the down low guy, like they start having these kind of thoughts. Now, that doesn't mean you should just give into it if you don't want to do it. But realistically, if you do want to do it, and it's been like this guy's gone on 6 dates and hasn't done it, again, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do find that can typically tend to start making women's interest in you go downward. So if you're just denying yourself just to do it, then I wouldn't recommend continuing to hold out. But this guy wanted to. It is what it is. So he says, things have been going well. He says, I wasn't planning on really having the exclusivity conversation anytime soon, but she mentioned she was also seeing some other guys she met on Bumble and still uses the app. I'm personally not interested in competing with other guys for her at this point or being kept around as an option. Do you think it would be a good idea to just tell her that I wanted to be exclusive with her? No, but I'll continue on. We talked about this last night a bit, but I was honestly so drunk that I don't even fully remember what I said. She wasn't drunk though, since she was hungover from getting drunk with the other guy the night before. Okay, so let me just pause here, because this is one of those conversations that what I have found in my travels more often than not, these conversations come up because the guy brings it up. So if a woman's on a date with you and she's trying to get to know you and actually likes you, for one, just because she's doing that does not mean she's not seeing 3 or 4 other people. Because realistically, if you met her on a dating app, she's probably got a bunch of other offers on that dating app that she wants to try out. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you as the guy that has also met girls on these apps should also be going out and meeting other girls. And most women understand this. Most women understand that if you're both on dating apps, then she's probably not the only one you're seeing. And until it gets to a level where her feelings are serious, it doesn't really matter. That's how they read it. But they think that we are totally cool with it. And most of the time, most guys, like, if we've had 2 good dates with a girl, we've already signed off the app. We no longer have a profile on there, and we're just focusing exclusively on her. And that's shame on us, because we should not be doing that. Because again, she's doing her due diligence and we're already trying to wife her up. You need to have it established that until you get to the 3-month mark with any woman, A, you're not expressing feelings, and B, you stay on these apps, okay? You want her coming to you and saying, hey, so I'm just curious, like, are you still in the app anymore? Because I mean, I'm no longer on there, but I just want to know if you're still on there, okay? And that's totally fine, because what you don't want is this situation where this guy now feels like, and again, because I'm assuming this conversation came up because he brought it up. Because again, if a woman likes you, she's not going on a date with you saying, yeah, but I'm seeing other guys, do. But if you're the guy that's like, so, it's been 6 dates. So like, are you still on the app and are you seeing other people? Most women will not feel obligated to lie to you, because she's thinking, he just asked me as part of the conversation, and I assume he is too. So yeah, I'm still on the app. I'm still seeing other people. Oh my God, how could you? But that's your fault, because you're thinking your ego wants to get a hit of like feeling that you're the only guy that she could be possibly interested in. And that can be true at some point, but in the beginning, that's not how that works. So this guy trying to bring it up and trying to get the stuff out of her, and the fact that he knows that she was drunk from the night before from the other guy, that means that he probably asked her, when's the last time you dated another guy? Oh, I went out last night. Oh, we got really hammered. Why would you bring that to the conversation? So don't prompt conversations with women about dating other people when you know you don't want the answer. If you're not her boyfriend yet, it doesn't matter who she's seeing. She can see other people just like you can see other people, but you're going to be more butthurt, because this kind of stuff hits at our egos a lot worse. Like if a girl finds out that you're dating other people, it might hit a little bit, but she just thinks, okay, I got to just work harder. But again, he's dating other people because we're not in a relationship yet. He's in that right. But we are all about, we think we're the only guy that can do this thing for her. We're the only guy that can turn her on. Don't give your ego a bad dose of what it doesn't want to hear. Like just assume, I just always assume when I'm dating new girls, especially girls on dating apps, for those first 3 months, I assume, unless they tell me otherwise, or unless they start hinting at me like, hey, I had a girl I was dating one time in the month 2, she was like, so just so you, out of nowhere, she was just so you know, I paused my profile on the app. What's that saying to me? That's saying to me, I paused myself on the app because I really like you, and I hope you're doing the same. But she's coming to me with that. And I just said, okay, great. Didn't let her know either way. I have, but I didn't let her know either way, because again, like that's a conversation that's for a whole different podcast altogether. But the point is this. So yeah, women will let you know on their own accord that they're getting to like you more, to the point where they are no longer on the app. You don't have to go searching for that crap. Okay. So in the meantime, until she says that kind of stuff, just go with the flow. But this guy could not. Continuing on. So she wanted me to get drunk, but I'm pretty sure that I mentioned or expressed that I wasn't really into her seeing other guys while we were seeing each other. Oh, well, we'll see if she texts me back anything. Are there any thoughts? So yeah, I basically told you guys, when I told him to, I said, this is what I call the simp test. I know you guys love talking about simps on here. So the simp test is very, very simple, which is this. Let's say a woman's dating like 3 guys off an app, okay? If she's been dating him for like a month or 3 weeks or whatever, she's going to start throwing out little tests to see what a man is made of and what his temperament is and how seriously he's taking all this dating that they've been doing. So one of the things that a woman will do is she would go to each, if you're not asking her, she might let each of these guys subtly know that she's still on the app and she's still seeing other people. And she does this to see what your reaction is going to be. Because understand, and I've explained this to the guys before, is that women have a lot more things to have to vet out from a guy, because let's face it, guys, like of the 2 sexes, men are typically a little bit stronger and they're a bit more egotistical. So when their egos get hit, they can do a lot of harm to women. And so women try to sniff this out early on because they don't want to get in a relationship and then be like, oh, he's hitting me. Why didn't I see this? Oh, he's always mad and upset. So sometimes she'll throw things out there to see what level of mad or upset you'll get. And this is one of those tests. So she might, date with you, you're talking and blah, blah, blah. And then she might just say like, I've had this happen where like, I'm on a date with a girl, we're having a good time. And all of a sudden I hear the little ping. And it's that ping with that special sound that you get when you're on these dating apps. And it lets you know that, oh, somebody just sent this person a message. Okay. So you might be on a date with the girl. All of a sudden you hear a little ping from the Hinge app or the Bumble app or the Tinder app that lets you know, oh crap, somebody just either liked her or just sent her a message. And she might have purposely left the sound on to see what would happen if that happens on a date. So how are you going to react to that? Well, if you react like a simp, you're going to be like, oh my God, I just heard a sound. Like, what is that? Are you still taking likes from other guys? Are you still getting messages from other guys? Like, what does that mean? I thought you liked me. What's going on? What is all this displaying? This is displaying neediness. It's displaying desperation. It's displaying a guy that's not confident that I'm able to get her attention and keep her attraction going, or that I'm able to eventually build it to some place. And so that guy's going to be out. The guy that just reacted the way I just showed you guys, that's the guy woman's going to see that and be like, ooh, he's really needy. Oh my God. Like, I knew it. I knew it was because women will be thinking like, this guy's too good to be true. I need to test him out to really see what he's about. So when you show that, woman's going to be like, oh, I knew it. He's really like this. He's really not that confident. He really is needy. Oh, I'm glad I sniffed this out right away. I don't want to see him anymore. Versus what I do, which is I'm going to date. I hear the ding and I just keep eating my food, keep talking like nothing happened. And in the back of their head, they're thinking like, interesting. He doesn't seem to care that he just heard a very obvious ding from my app. Interesting. Okay, so he's a little indifferent. That's cool. But wait, does that mean that he's not worried because he's possibly seeing other girls still? Do I have to now like vie for his attention? Should I really like, should I turn my phone down so he won't think that I'm seeing other guys? Cause I really want his attention. I really want to be with him. So yeah, man, you got to learn to like, when these things come out, because women are going to throw curveballs at you all the time, not just when you're dating, but throughout the course of your relationship, the course of your marriage, the course of your entire life with this person. They're going to be throwing curveballs because every once in a while, they're going to have to test you to test your masculine strength and to see what kind of temperament you have. And if you're not able to react in a way that is positive or in a way that doesn't like throw you off course, they're going to be like, see, no, and run. So for this guy, no, you shouldn't be mentioning exclusivity. If anything, you should still be dating other women. It's been 6 dates, 3 weeks. Again, if every date was 2 hours, that's 2 times 6, that's 12 hours you've been with her. That's 3 weeks, which is again, way too much time that early on in a relationship. You should be doing it once a week at most, unless she's suggesting stuff. Part of the reason you want to keep your date, the amount of dates that you're going to ask her out on low is because you want her to come to you and start offering stuff. And when she starts doing that, now she's coming towards you with dates. And as I always say, guys, if she's chasing you, she can't be replacing you. All right. So that's how I answer that guy's question. And then on to the big one, which is the love one. Because again, these guys up to this point have just been saying, I like you, we should be exclusive. But what about the big L? Because that's the one that guys are taught like, oh my God, if you're having a hard time with a woman and she's starting to be flaky on you and she's starting to kind of like not answer your calls and stuff, you bring out the big L word, then she'll realize, oh wait, I shouldn't be backing away because this guy loves me. This is what I wanted the whole time, is a guy to love me. And he's saying he loves me. And this must be what I want. And this is it. I don't have to play games anymore. It's a wrap. That's how we're taught that this should go. Does it often go this way? Well, let's find out, shall we? So this guy says, his question is, should I reach out again or just call it a loss and move on? So he says, oh God, he says, I have been seeing this girl for 6 months. She wasn't working due to the pandemic when we first met and we hit it off. We both were looking for something serious. She was the one who asked me because she said she didn't want to waste any time if I wasn't on the same page. All right. So these are all good things so far. Okay. They've been going together for 6 months and they hit it off. And they both mentioned early on that they're looking for something serious. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there are some guys out there that just want to play the field. And there are some women out there that just like, hey, I'm just in this to have a good time. It is what it is. Okay. Now, with that said, they've been seeing each other 6 months. And so a lot of guys, what'll happen is they'll be dating a girl for a while. Let's say it's been 4, 5, 6 months. Maybe she hasn't verbally expressed to him in full the way that she feels about stuff. And this is why I tell you guys, you really got to get off this idea of either A, having to verbally hear something, or B, having to verbally express it yourself. Because if you are in the day-to-day with her and you're continuing to ask her dates, she's continuing to say yes, she's continuing to have sex with you on a regular basis, she's continuing to do actions that indicate love, it could just be that she's not a words person. I've discussed on this show about love languages. Some people are acts of service. Some people are a bunch of other ones that I'm not going to go into today. But the point is that, so her expression of love to you might not be words. Her love expression might be something else, where she's showing it to you, where she's doing things for you that indicate that she has that care. Now, if you're a guy that is a words of affirmation person, this might bug you, okay? But I'm just surprised at the number of guys that have been trained over the years to just feel like a woman doesn't love them unless she says it. And that's taught for us by bad media. You need to get out of your head about that stuff, okay? There are women out there that might take a year or two. And I've seen situations where like a guy dates a woman for like 4 or 5 years and doesn't say I love you until he's ready to propose to her. And then they get married and they live happily ever after. Okay. So this whole verbalization thing, it's great if it happens, but if it doesn't, and she's still doing all the right stuff, dude, just let it slide. Just let it go. You're ruining perfectly good relationships because you feel the need to hear verbal diarrhea about something because your ego is tied to this, having to hear this thing or else not knowing if you feel it or not. All right. But continuing on. So 3 months in, I told her I love her, and she told me she loved me back. Oh. But wait, okay. We were almost there with calling ourselves boyfriend, girlfriend. So he's saying, I love you to her without even having officially made this a thing. And part of the reason he's doing that is because he's thinking if I say it, then that's going to push her towards wanting to have that title. And I tell you guys time and time again, you cannot push a woman to want to have that title. She has to feel it. She has to be able to want to express it to you. She has to be the one to come to you to say, hey, so what are we? So we've been dating for a while. So it is what it is. Okay. And it's funny because like years ago, you would have thought, a guy being in a situation with a woman where she's not asking for any kind of commitment, but she's still giving him regular sex and cooking for him and regularly seeing him would be like, great. But over time, I think guys have gotten to the situation where it's like, oh, I can't feel secure about this if I don't know for sure and blah, 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 blah. And it's just, maybe it's just, it's not necessary, especially as an introvert. You should be totally fine with like, I'm seeing somebody sporadically from time to time. We're having a great time and it's not more serious than it currently is. I know she wants it great, but if not, in the meantime, that still gives me, the means to see other women if I choose to, until she decides she wants to come to me and make this serious. Okay. So you win if it's not overly serious or if there's no titles. Because the worst case scenario is you start dating another girl while you're dating her. She comes to you and says, hey, why are you still dating other girls? And your response is, well, we never established like a full-on relationship. Are you saying you now want one? And then that still puts the onus on her to be like, well, yeah, oh, well, I mean, I guess, well, because see, but either way, you want her coming to you with this relationship. Guys typically are supposed to chase physicality. Women chase relationships. So if you're getting sex, you've done your part. At this point, you wait for her to come to you with those questions about a relationship. Otherwise, leave it the heck alone. So anyway, shortly after that, she got a job that requires her to work 14-hour shift 3 days a week. I understand that it is draining, but right around this time she got the job, she pretty much disappeared on me for 3 weeks. So he said, I love you, right? And then she just happened to get a job that would just happen to keep her away from him, to where she just happens to disappear for 3 weeks nonstop. Now, I myself have dated teachers, lawyers, doctors, graduate students, all of whom have hella busy schedules, who would have every excuse to just be like, hey, Harry, I can't see you because you know what? I'm just so swamped. And these girls will find hours or 30-minute segments out of their day to say, hey, come over. Hey, I need a quickie. Hey, I just want to see you, even if it's like an hour and a half. Hey, I still got to eat dinner. Can we meet it for dinner? Because when they want to see you, they're going to make it easy. And when they don't, they won't. And a lot of times what will happen is when you start bringing this kind of level of seriousness to the situation, you start saying those, I love yous, I care for yous, I can't live without yous, I want to be with yous, oh babies. Then it just becomes convenient that, oh, I have work. Oh, just my work schedule. And notice, he said, she has 14-hour shifts 3 days a week. That is still 4 days out the week that she has where she has free time. And a woman that's going to make excuses is going to be like, oh, but on those days I need to get my sleep. So you're telling me a woman on an off day is going to need to sleep 24 hours straight, not going to eat dinner, not going to run to the store, not going to have time to watch TV, not going to have time for a little Netflix action. Like she just has no time altogether. That is what I call a lie. Because women don't want to hurt your feelings. She's going to tell you these things as excuses and push them because she wants to be able to keep you away, but she needs a viable reason to do that. Because to go from you saying, I love you, to her now, saying, I can't see you, that's a jerkish move. And most women don't want to appear like jerks. So instead of doing that, in their mind, they think, I don't want to be a jerk by saying, I don't want to see you. So I'll just make excuses and hopefully he'll get it and nobody's feelings will be hurt. I don't know why that logic is there, but it is. So anyway, continuing on. So she used to be so good about texting, replying back so fast, initiating, etc., but that dropped off. She canceled 4 plans during this 3-week period. When we finally did see each other, I had to talk to her about what's wrong. And she said she was just drained from work. She apologized and said she wouldn't disappear on me like that again. So does this, I quiz you guys all the time about this. Does this look like the actions of a woman that wants to see a guy? Let's find out. She made plans with him and then canceled. And she was good at texting before, now can barely respond back. Are these signs of a woman that wants to keep his interest? Probably not. And then the excuse, she's just drained from work. She's drained from work every single day. On the days off that she has, she's so drained she can't see him on her days off, even for like 30 minutes or an hour. Are these the actions of a woman that wants to see this guy or one that is trying to back away? So she said she apologized and said she wouldn't disappear on me like that again. Well, she disappeared again. Shocking. These past 2 weeks, she has been so dry and so flaky with me. Takes her hours to reply back to a message of mine, sometimes even days, and doesn't really initiate any conversation. She used to send me Snapchats of her day all the time, and she stopped sending me those too. I decided to stop initiating text her. I decided to stop initiating texting her or reaching out to her for 4 days to see if she would reach out to me first. Nope, she didn't reach out at all. So that's a very, very bad sign because, and then some guys make excuses. They'll say like, oh, she might have just forgot about me. Women have memory like elephants. They don't forget stuff from 10 years ago. They're not going to forget you from last week. What they're doing is making a decision. They're making a decision to not see you. But again, why is all this happening? Well, let's look back the 3 months in where he said, I love you. And she said it back. Now a guy will hear that and think, well, but she said it back. So if she said it back, it couldn't have been a lie. What's up with that? And I try to tell you guys, women do not want to hurt your feelings. And a lot of times when guys do things like say, I love you too early, or say, I care about you too early, or we should be in a relationship, some women will go along with that because they don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to seem like the bad girl that's like making you boo-hoo in the corner somewhere. And so in order to keep up their egos as the good person, they'll say things back to you that they don't mean. This is why I tell you guys, a good way to read a woman's emotions and behavior is to let her come to you with these things. They already know as guys that we like them and that we probably love them by the second or third date, but they need to get there and they need to not be punished for waiting to tell you these things or to act on these things. Okay. So even though I typically say to you guys, by the third month, you should know whether or not she'll come to you and ask, are we in a relationship? Are we boyfriend and girlfriend? That does not mean that in 3 months' time, they're going to start saying, I love you, I care about you so much, okay? If it happens, great, but you might wait a little bit longer to hear that. She might just think, hey, as long as I've agreed to be boyfriend and girlfriend, then we're good. I've already told him I clearly being in this relationship means that I like him a lot. Why do I have to verbalize this stuff extra, okay? But you guys are pushing it, and this is what's pushing away a lot of good girls that would have actually been with you long-term had you not pushed them to make them feel or say these things. Continuing on, I know something's up. It's either she was bored during the pandemic before she worked and used me to pass some time with, or me saying, I love you to her, scared her away since that happened like right before she started the job. Ding, 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 ding. I think this guy's got it. If it was the I love you, that is extra confusing to me because she was clear that she wanted something serious. Yes. And me saying that after 4 months isn't too soon to just scare her away. That is false. Yes, she said that she wanted something serious, okay? But that does not mean that she wanted you to bring the seriousness to the relationship. Again, women are going to bring it to you in a way that's kind of like more playful and more like jokey and more like, hey, so I just want to know, like, where are we at? Like, what's going on? Like, to make it a fun conversation. You bringing it is going to come with desperation, and anxiety tied to it. And that is the reason why when you say it, it comes off not so well, and it comes off too serious, and it comes off like you're forcing it on her, because that's not something that a confident guy does. Think about your James Bonds. James Bond would never go to a woman and be like, hey, so just want to know, like, what are your feelings for me? And do you love me? And do you care about me? Like, that's not his MO. His MO is focusing on his mission, and the women see that and want to try to distract him from the mission by trying to do things to galvanize his time. And that's the best way this stuff works is you initiate on where like you're asking for dates and stuff like that, but then you leave her alone to let her come to you to ask about, hey, can we go on another date this week, even though it's a little bit sooner than normal? Hey, so I just want you to know that I take myself off the app. Hey, so are you dating other people? Hey, so what are we? These are things that they can do, and it's not going to cause any punishment for them. But for you, bad, bad, bad all the time. Continuing on, he says, if it was the love you makes you confusing. Okay, so after she didn't reach out for 4 days, I decided to message her last night. I told her it has been so long since I've seen her and I missed her, and I would really love to hang out with her Friday, which is today. She said she would let me know. Again, is that the actions of a woman that is looking like she wants to date this guy? She didn't give any alternative days, and she didn't say anything like, oh, I'm free at this specific time. If women are not throwing out to you, yes, I'm free, I can't do it today, but how about tomorrow, this day and time? Then they're not trying to make future plans with you. So consciously, if they're not making a definite date with you, they don't see you in her future. That's what's happening there, okay? Let's see, haven't heard back and not expecting to. Before she got this job, she would be so excited to see me and would make it happen at least once a week. My question is, do I reach out again? Do I say anything about her dodging me or just move on entirely? So This is another thing guys like to do. They see a girl acting a certain way and they think, okay, you know what? I need to sit down with her and have a conversation about my feelings, about her feelings, about what she's feeling and what she's going through and why she's treating me this way. But the problem is, guy, that is a serious conversation. And again, women that are dating you want to have fun early on, okay? So you bring in this kind of thing to it. This is just adding more and more seriousness. It's making her realize you're not the fun guy that she thought that she was dating, and it's going to just push her away more and more. So in this kind of situation, this is where you just back off. You back off. You don't reach out to her. If she wants to see you, she'll reach out. And typically I find if you leave a girl alone for a couple of weeks and they'll be like, oh, what the heck's going on? They'll typically be like, oh, hey, long time no see. What's going on with you? But that's if you haven't completely obliterated their feelings for you by overly verbalizing and by over texting her. Okay. So all this, guys, to say that, yeah, this whole thing of you having to go to her and say, I love you, I care for you, I need you, are we exclusive? None of these things are going to help your cause. Okay. Because when they first see you and first consider you as a mate, the first thing you're thinking is, I mean, aside from like, oh, you know, he looks great or he's funny or whatever, is that this is a guy I can have fun with. But added to that should be, and as long as he doesn't push the agenda of a relationship, then I will continue to come around him for fun. And the more fun a woman has with you, the more she's going to be like, hey, I'm having fun with this guy. I don't want to lose this. Let me come to him and see how I can lock this down. Let them do that. I know there's this whole thing about, you know, whether women chase or men chase, and I'm gonna do a whole podcast on that. But the point is that you're doing your part early on by asking her out, by showing her a good time on dates, by taking her to fun places. That's your part of the chase. Let them have the part where they're kind of unsure about your feelings and they're coming after you to do things to better help them see where you're at. Don't be the guy that just dumps all that on them and then takes away their part of the job, because their job is to figure out what your feelings are. Their job is to figure out if you love them, how much you care about them, if you're seeing other people. That's fine for them to do. You doing it makes you look weak, and you don't need to be a weak guy, okay? Simply by showing up, dating, having a good time, and then repeating, you will get a lot farther than most of the other guys that are out there having problems like the ones that I talk about on Reddit, all right? So hopefully, guys, this helps you out for the day. So now you know whether or not it is better to, who should say I love you first. If anything, you want the woman to do that stuff first. So you wait it out. You know, as long as you're there showing her a good time, you're good. There will be a point where she cannot help herself but to come to you and start expressing things, letting you know. And even when she does, when she's like, hey, I love you, don't feel like you got to say it right away. Don't feel like you got to be like a parent. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you too. Like you can be like, oh, that's great. Oh, I appreciate it. Or you can say like Han Solo did in Star Wars. Oh, I know. And then you can say it on your time, on your own terms when you really, really feel it. Okay. But don't feel like you got to jump the gun and say it just because it's what I got to do to let her know that what like that you're coming from a position of weakness. Don't come from a position of weakness when you're dealing with women. All right. So hopefully it helps you guys out. For more of these shows, as always, you can go to introvertdatingsuccess.com. You can also check out the podcast on Apple Podcast and wherever else you find podcasts. We do this show live, though, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here at protestparty.tv. So if you want to join in on the chat stream, join us at that link specifically and talk with other people in the stream chat, okay? Also, go to the website. I got a lot of great ebooks there. I got programs. You can go to smartdigitaldating.com/enroll to check out my my online dating guide for you guys, the A to Z's of how to do this online and phone app dating the right way. And of course, guys, this show is all about you. If you have something that you want me to talk about on one of these shows, you can write me at harrywilmington@gmail.com or go to the website and click on the contact tab and we'll be sure to help you. Guys, that's all I got. I'm Harry Wilmington. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.
Joe's in the house, come on, love's in the house. Uncle Joe's in the house, come on, love's in the house.
I said VOTE on November 3, Biden and Harris, cause that Donald Trump, wait. Yeah, I'm voting for Biden and Harris. Mail-in ballot or the polls for Biden and Harris. Gotta save the nation's soul with Biden and Harris. Joseph Biden is the next in charge, taking back that White House yard. Kamala Harris is his running mate, fighting back against QAnon. They go low, but we go high.
Look at his record, look at her drive. Boosting morale, close the divide. This country is hurt, Biden's your guy. Trump don't cheat, ain't no surprise. Killing the post office from the inside. He trying to stop your big fat vote so we can keep telling lies. What a team, it's a dream. Make me wanna shout and scream. Pence and Trump, so obscene. But Joe and Kamala, so fresh and so clean.
Gotta be H&B, vote on November 3. Don't stay home for me years of the CBC. I do not wanna do it, I'm about to lose my sanity. The show is so boring. Oh really? Well, that's cool with me. Statesmanship, they both drift. Climate change, gonna get that fixed. Military budget, gonna get more change. Trump ain't gotta worry about it, ain't thing. Donate your cash or your time for Biden and Harris. You bout to die? Stay alive. Vote Biden and Harris. So love the nation. Who gon' save it? Vote Biden and Harris. If you want change, send your vote in. Vote Biden and Harris.
Look, we need a straight shooter, we need a case closer, need to free from jail all the weed smokers. We need Trump fired cause he's mediocre. With Republicans, they gon' reach over. If you in college and earning your credits, they'll take your loan, lower your payments. Got a small business, well, they're trying to help it. All of the farmers, they'll be well protected. They won't take your guns or leave you broke. Joe and Kamala, bringing back hope. They're going to hunt down a new cure for corona and not treat this thing like a hoax. Their campaign's on fire, they move about calmly while Trump has no focus. He moves like a zombie, he's racist like the cops in Wisconsin. And let's not forget he supported the Nazis.
Kamala, she a boss chick, aka seaweed. BP pick little girls, they can dream it. Teaming up with Joe, give us something to believe in. Bout to be a fight, Trump and Pence take a beating. The White House, Joe's the one we needin'. Been up in there once, he's a proven leader. Big P stands for presidential, making good decisions and he's got credentials. Donald tried man, but he can't hang. His response to Rona caused death and pain. Got non-believers making grave visits. If you don't believe me, ask Herman Cain.
Yeah, I'm voting for Biden and Harris. Mail-in ballot or the polls for Biden and Harris. Gotta save the nation's soul with Biden and Harris. Get back on top, gotta swap for Biden and Harris. Mike Pence and Donald, they both flop. Vote Biden and Harris. I'm talking blah, blah, blah. That's Biden and Harris. This Kofefi's gonna stop with Biden and Harris. Yeah. Uncle Joe's in the house, Carmelo's in the house. Uncle Joe's in the house, Carmelo's in the house. Uncle Joe's in the house, Carmelo's in the house.